ain't tryna see your hand out. No free beats, better pay up. I ain't tryna see your hand out. No free beats, better pay up. Y'all so cheap, man, we stay out. Feel like a breeze, don't play around. Y'all better pay for the CD. Y'all better pay to come see me. They left the whole crowd sleeping, and that's why you really gon' need me. Y'all better pay for the CD. Y'all better pay to come see me. They left the whole crowd sleeping, and that's why you really gon' need me.
Yeah, I've been on the road, chill. 31, baby, living out my dream still. I just got off a tour, the product in store, I'm playing. I'll be rocking with the guy in the horse, yeah. You just hopped in the coupe, got lock in the shoes. I worship his Zeus, you not gonna shoot. I'm watching you do the cam base where I'm blocking these fools. I got studio time, I got my watch in the booth, yeah. They be praying on my downfall. I'm an outlaw, switching fools every stance like Southpaw. How come your mouth off when y'all soft? No, you see me on the trampoline, about to bounce off, yeah. It's a matter of time, I know you see me standing in the front, back of the line. I happen to grind every minute, passing the time. We ain't never been friends, how you acting like mine? Y'all need contentment, y'all got resentment. God's grace lead to repentance. You live for mentions, that make me question. How you gonna handle a gift if you don't know how to steward a blessing? You can't do it, you don't want a dream chase, you don't put your hands to it. You know the circle strong, 4th and 40, got a pun. No, I don't do what I want, I do it for the kingdom come. I ain't know that I was flowing, I ain't showing sign of slowing. I am going for the jugular, mate, the one to debate. But you seem to want it for free. I ain't doing video unless I'm gonna get paid, yeah. I've been working on a gift, I ain't doing free shows. You can call me arrogant, you can call me what you want, it's really absurd. Just because you're the church doesn't really mean you don't have to pay me what I am worth. Woo.
I ain't tryna see your hand out. No free beats, better pay up. Y'all so cheap, man, we stay out. Feel like a breeze, don't play around. Y'all better pay for the CD. Y'all better pay to come see me. They left the whole crowd sleeping, and that's why you really gon' need me. Y'all better pay for the CD. Y'all better pay to come see me. They left the whole crowd sleeping, and that's why you really gon' need me. Y'all better pay for the CD. Y'all better pay to come see me. They left the whole crowd sleepy, and that's when you really gon' need me.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming on my landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like, yeah, you about to see me on demand like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, man, we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on a roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on a roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go. On a roll, here we go, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Frankie Candles YouTube channel. Oh, baby. Guys, we got some price action to take a look at. I don't want to get too excited here. It's not like we got a huge move, but we got a little pop to the upside and a quick reversal. I want to talk about this price action, guys. Are we going to see Bitcoin poke its head through these levels of resistance and shoot up for that 37K level before our real correction comes in? Or are we going to see price turn around right here and give us a little bit of a push to the downside, guys? I want to cover all this on tonight's live stream, but what is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in and spending your precious time here with the CandleMafia and your boy Frankie Candles to do 2 full hours of TA on this crazy thing they call Bitcoin, guys. We're going to try to figure out where Bitcoin is headed next. Thank you all for tuning in. Don't forget, smash that like button, guys. Every 100 likes we get, you guys get a spin on the wheel of pain and pleasure. The more spins, the more wins. The more wins, the poorer I get, but the richer you guys get. So smash that like button, guys. But yeah, we got a lot of good stuff to look at on the charts today, guys. We're going to be taking a look at Bitcoin. I want to talk about these key levels that we just rejected from and why they may be a decent place to get a significant move to the downside. But I also want to show you guys why I'm being a little bit careful here, as we do have a couple of specific things popping up on the charts that could indicate that random surprise pump to the upside that we were talking about yesterday may be in store. But I'm going to break it all down for you guys so you can have a clear outlook on these markets and hopefully get on the right side of these trades and make some of that money. But guys, before we jump into it, don't forget, smash that like button. But let's go ahead and say what is going on to the before we jump into it, I want to say what's up to the Mafia. Smash that like button, guys. But shout out to Mbatter Virus. Thank you for that super chat, bro. He said, you are amazing, bro. Shout out to Mbatter Virus. What did I do? What did I do? Are you in the premium Discord, Mbatter? Shout out to you, man. Thank you for the super chat, and thank you for those kind words. I really do appreciate it. But guys, we got Hannah King in the house, our CandleMafia princess. Go ahead and throw those tiaras in chat. If you have a Frankie Candles membership, show her some love. You got to respect the princess. Shout out to Emmanuel. What is going on? We got Sir Quest saying, dump it. Donato Cabrera shouting out B-Team Crypto. Shout out to B-Team. We got Crimson Caravan Company in the chat. The tiaras are flying. Shout out to Crypto Cowboy. We got Alexander in the chat. We got Santiago. What is going on, bro? We got Medic Money. As always, good to see you. We got Mr. Market in the house. Said, seriously, my shorts are as juicy as Dave Digital's warm, moist Rocket Wad. Yo, shout out. I got to make sure I read these things clear before I say them out loud on the internet. Shout out to Dave Digital. He says he's not that amazing. He's just a guy. Shout out to Dave Digital. I appreciate the love and the hate comment. Shout out to Dave Digital. I'm just kidding, bro. You know that. But shout out to Dave. Thank you for the super chat, bro. And we got DZ's Peanuts in the chat said, shout out to you, my boy. Discover Crypto doesn't let me super chat DZ anymore. Shout out to DZ's Peanuts. Well, dude, that's weird because you said you were hidden in here for, you thought you were hidden in here, but I can see your chats. I definitely see your super chats, and I see your regular chats too. But what's up, DZ's Peanuts? Thank you for being here, bro, and I appreciate that super chat, brother. And shout out to Hannah King with another super chat, or is it her first super chat? I don't know. But shout out to Hannah King. Said, Dave, you're right. He's not amazing. He's a legend. Shout out to Hannah King. Thank you for those kind words. And shout out to Walking Dead X, guys. Don't forget, show some love to our mods in the chat. We got Tyler Durden, Rob the Crypto Snob, Chemistry Bro, Crypto Billy, Crypto Anon, Tyler Durden, Tony D. You guys know who they are. Show them some love in the chat. And without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and jump into the saucy charts and try to figure out what. Oh wait, hang on. I gotta change my resolution, guys. Bear with me. I tried to run the widescreen on the stream, guys, but it just seems that nobody can see any of the information. So I just gotta keep going back to 1080p, which is kind of miserable because I got this nice giant wide monitor, and I gotta keep using 1080p. But anything for the Mafia. Let's go ahead and jump on into the charts. Here we go. So here we are, guys. On the big, hey, shout out to Creighton C. I appreciate that super chat, bro. That was a $10 super chat. Thank you so much, bro. He says, are we sure DZ's nuts are some form of, it's a typo, aren't some form of AI? Potentially. I heard AI. Never mind. Shout out to Creighton C. I did hear that those are all the new craze, apparently. But shout out to Creighton C. Thank you so much for that super chat, bro. I do appreciate you. You are the man. Shout out to you, bro. But guys, jumping on into the charts here, obviously, we have gotten a little bit of a pop to the upside today before getting a quick turnaround. Now, obviously, guys, you will know that we were looking for some resistance within this purple box for a potential rejection back to the downside. And I want to talk about some of these key levels that we rejected here and why we may have gotten that quick reversal. And more importantly, by the end of the TA on Bitcoin, I hopefully can clear up the waters here because I will be honest, guys, there are some mixed signals on the charts right now. I am in a short with the premium Discord. Shout out to the kitchen, or the premium Discord as they call it. But we are in a short from up here, guys, but I do want to talk about why I'm actually being pretty careful with this short position, and it all has to do with something sitting on the daily time frame, and we're going to cover that in a second. But first off, I kind of want to zoom out here, and real quick, just to give you guys my longer-term sentiment, essentially nothing has changed since yesterday. I am expecting higher prices on Bitcoin, potentially getting to that 37, 38, 39, 40K levels, but the question is, are we going to shoot up for that 37K level right now, or are we going to correct from here? And I will say, I want to talk about kind of what we were looking at yesterday on the charts and why I am being a little bit careful with the short that I just entered. And it has a lot to do with the fact that we have this daily VWAP still lurking down here on Market Cypher B, guys. You could see our VWAP just kind of creeping its way up here, looking to curve back up into the zero line. And if we do get this green dot, guys, I do think it is likely to potentially get a shot back to the upside. And I think if we do wind up seeing that, it may wind up being one of those pumps that kind of comes out of nowhere, and you get notifications from like Coinbase on your phone, and it's like Bitcoin's ripping, and you open the chart and you're like, oh my God, why are we shooting up? So if we do get that pump, guys, I do think it will likely be something like that. And same thing as yesterday, I am watching that daily green dot on Market Cypher B to potentially start that move to the upside. So one of the reasons I am, because as you guys know, yesterday I was talking about how I am simply waiting for higher prices or lower prices, higher prices to look for a short, lower prices to look for a long. And until we get that, I am simply going to be day trading this range as I do on a day-to-day basis. But we talked about the possibility of looking for shorts up here, and if we did look for a short, why I'd be careful. And it does remain that I am going to continue in this short with high caution because of this daily green dot. And on top of that, guys, we actually do have some other things popping up on Market Cypher that could indicate a pump to the upside. David T said short squeeze, potentially, and we can maybe check out Coinalyze in just a second to try to figure out if there is a short squeeze building. Yeah, let's go ahead and we won't look at Coinalyze right this second. But I want to talk about those other things on Market Cypher that could be calling for more upside. And one of those things lies on the 12-hour time frame, guys. We have a fresh green dot on the 12-hour, and you guys know what I like to do when you see these green dots on Market Cypher, specifically on the 12-hour. I like to shoot down. This is literally like second nature to me. I don't even think about it anymore. As soon as I see that green dot printing, I instantly think, let's go down to the lower time frames, check that money flow. Is it coming up and crossing into the green at the same time that we have this green dot printing? And if it is, we could expect a potential continuation to the upside. So 12-hour green dot printing, I come right down to that 45-minute time frame, and you can see here, we do have money flow crossing over into the green. Now, did this happen while that 12, am I peaking at all, guys? I got some weird old, I got some interesting, I don't know if I just sounded weird. I had a weird setting on my microphone, so I apologize if I sounded weird. But were we crossing over into the green while that 12-hour green dot was printing? Let's go ahead and check it. We were. So we did wind up getting that signal, right? That green dot at the same time as your 45-minute money flow. And you can also look for this on the 16-hour, which also has a fresh green dot. And if you look here locally, we do have actually locally the money flow is coming up. I want to be clear. This is a local money flow. I'm not talking about it's not trending to the upside. It's actually trending downwards. But you do have local money flow coming to the upside with a fresh 16-hour green dot. So just how we looked at that 12-hour green dot with the 45-minute money flow, I want to go from the 16-hour and bring it all the way down to the 1 hour to check out that money flow. And you can actually see we actually are not getting that confirmation, right? What we would want to see here to indicate a bigger move to the upside would be this money flow crossing into the green at the same time as this 16-hour green dot is printing. Now, we do have another hour and 2 minutes to before this green dot confirms. So if that money flow on the 1 hour winds up, just randomly yeeting to the upside and crossing over into the green, that, we could expect a continuation to the upside. But as you can see, the VWAP is actually looking for a red dot. So I think it probably a little bit less likely to get that confirmation, which would be a good sign for our shorts, right? But again, this is popping up on the 12 hours, so you want to be careful. And on top of that, guys, you could see 8-hour green dot printing. If you come on down to that 30-minute time frame, you could see that money flow on the 30-minute is crossing over into the green, which is kind of that same strategy, just using 2 different time frames, and it could indicate that there is more upside to come. So with that being said, guys, like I said, there are a lot of mixed signals right now, at least popping up as of right now. So are we going to see this continuation to the downside? It's very hard to say right now. Like I said, I am short from up here, but I am managing this very, very tightly, right? Because, again, with that green dot printing, with that 12-hour green dot, with the 45-minute money flow crossing over, there are some things indicating that we could continue up, right? So I am just being careful. However, you want to remember here, guys, those higher time frames, that 4-day looking for the red dot, that 3-day is has the red dot confirmed, right? This could indicate a cool-off incoming. So I have to be honest, guys. There are a lot of mixed signals out there, right? But by the way, with the way that we trade, we are kind of hedged, not with longs and shorts, but we hedge ourselves with good risk management, right? So I will be holding this short position, right? And then if we wind up getting a random yeet to the upside, that green dot on the daily starts to print, and we just get a random push continuing up towards our next levels of resistance, which are going to be sitting at about $37,000. If we do get that continuation, I will simply get stopped out of my short for a small loss, right? If not break even, depending on how much we come down. If we come down a little bit more, maybe I move my stop loss to break even. But even if I don't, I'll get stopped out at a small loss, and both of my long positions will continue to pay me out, and we will simply look for another short setup at the next key level. But if you want to talk about what we have kind of going for us for the short position, I will say for the continuation to the downside, guys, I will say, right, 4-hour VWAP starting to roll over here, right? 3-hour VWAP starting to roll over. I also want to point out that your money flow is continuing down, right? Trending to the downside. This means that money is leaving the asset, right? So this could wind up being, if we get that red dot and that money flow continues out, this would be a point for the bears, potentially getting our continuation to the downside. And if we come on over to the 2-hour, you can see we kind of are bing-bonging around here with our money flow. So nothing really to take away from here, but your VWAP is rolling over. Your 1 hour is printing that red dot, which would obviously assist you on that move down. This actually just printed like since the last time we looked at it, it just started printing. So this would assist that move to the downside. And if we do continue down, guys, what I would kind of be expecting is, or what I will be looking for to manage my short position, just to help anybody out who may have also gone short up here. At this point, kind of how I'm managing this, guys, is I'm looking for a move down to our value area high, and then once we get down there, if we break back into this range, I will be using this range as my compass or blueprint for this trade, because once we get stuck under this value area high, I am simply going to treat this short as a range trade, right? A simple range trade, looking to go from the high of the range or a deviation from above the range, which is what this was, and I will be looking for this to potentially get accepted back into the range, head back down towards that POC where we expect some kind of turbulence or retracement, and then eventually get a move back down to the value area low, right? So that is kind of the plan here. And then again, I want to be very clear. When it comes to trading, guys, you're going to get stopped out of your trades. You're not going to win every single one. I know sometimes we get excited. If you have a good week or a good month, right, you just think like you're unstoppable. You're just going to crush every single trade. But simply put, you're going to get stopped out. You're going to get, as long as you're managing your risk correctly, you're not going to get absolutely wrecked, but you're going to get stopped out. You're going to lose trades. There's no way around that. No ifs, ands, or buts. You're going to lose trades. But the key here is that is my plan for us to potentially revisit the value area low, because once we get back below this range high, I am simply treating this as a range trade. You guys know we trade these value areas like they're the back of our hand, right? We simply look for the deviations below the value area. This is where price is undervalued, right? And if you're looking at this and you know, right, we explain this all the time. If you know this is an undervalued price for Bitcoin and price relative to the recent price action has found a fair value within this range, you are essentially looking to pick up the cheap Bitcoin and ride it back into the fair value, right? Potentially getting to your POC where you are likely to get stuck, which you had happen right here, and then you are eventually waiting to get back up to the value area high until you deviate, and you can then look for shorts again and look for the inverse of what you looked for down here. Bitcoin is overvalued. You know that price is agreed upon. Most people agree that the fair price for Bitcoin is within this trade, so this would be overvalued. You are looking for your bearish confirmations up here to return back inside of your range, come back to the POC, which you see we did perfectly, and then eventually you're hoping to get back to your value area low, which actually did not happen here. And this is actually a rare case. Guys, you didn't go from the value area high back down to the value area low here. See, they don't work 100% of the time. It's often. They work a lot, but not all the time. That is a perfect example. But again, this is why you treat these range trades the way we treat them, and that's you want to take profit at that POC, right? Because you're expecting a potential strong reaction here. So you get back into the range, right to the POC, looking to get back down to the low. You don't get back to the low, but what happened? Even right here, you deviate above the value area, and what happens, right? You're overvalued, and you go right back to the POC. Again, you didn't get to the low. That is not guaranteed. But you got to the POC, and that is enough for you to take partial profits and then move your stop loss to break even or even into profit, making that a guaranteed winning trade, right? And then even if you got stopped out of this, you should be getting stopped out at a small loss. And then simply put, once again, you come above the value area. We are now looking at this as overvalued. You find those confirmations you're looking for, and then you're looking for this to get back into the range, back down to the POC, and then potentially back down to the low. Who knows, right? We could bounce off this value area high and get another big leg up, depending on if we print that green dot. But again, it is a game of risk management, right? As long as your losses are smaller, than your wins, you should be in good shape, even if you're getting stomped out of some of your trades. Honestly, if you have a good enough risk management plan, right, you could lose more than you win and still technically wind up being profitable. I don't recommend you aim for that, but when you're taking really high risk reward trades, oftentimes you can lose more trades than you're winning and still become profitable or still remain profitable, right? But anyway, simply put, guys, going to be looking for that to return back to the range, and I will manage this as a range trade once we get below that value area high, which is coming in at $35,135. And then if we wind up getting a bounce here, guys, obviously your key level of support here for a continuation to the upside, number one is going to be your value area high that I just mentioned, and your POC down here at 34,442. So, oftentimes if we are going to leave a value area, sometimes you will break out, come back down, test that POC before finally getting your big move to the upside. But I want you guys to understand here, the daily is really what I'm looking for, right? That green dot prints, that's where I think you'll get that random push to the upside. But other than that, guys, I am simply going to hold this short and see if we can get accepted back into the range. Now, coming up to the 4 hour, again, looking for that VWAP to roll over. If we wind up coming down from here, printing that red dot, you would actually have some pretty nice bearish divergences into your key level, which is the 786 golden pocket. And that would give you another drive of bearish divergence, which would likely, with money flow coming out, assist you in a move to the downside. So if we get this short to play out, guys, simply put, the next major level of support that I am looking at where I will be taking significant profits on this short, or just looking to take some profits, would be, the next significant level, this value area low coming in at almost 34K even. Again, just trading this as a range. And then it's not until we come down and we lose this blue box and potentially come down to lose this 786 here that I will be looking for not much lower prices, but I will be looking towards that next leg down to get a significant correction into the golden pocket of almost this entire move to the upside. This is technically a local golden pocket. Actually, let me check this. Where is this fib pulled from? Let me just double check it. Yeah, so it's pulled from this impulse to the high, which I do think this is going to be a significant level of support. Remember, you do have those single prints sitting down here as well. These are untested areas on the chart that price likes to go test. Not guaranteed. Same thing with CME gaps, right? A lot of people think that those CME gaps are guaranteed to get filled, although the percentage is extremely high of the CME gaps that get filled. It is not 100%. Same thing with single prints. I don't know what the percentage is that of single prints that get filled, but oftentimes price does like to go fill these levels or go retest these levels. And the fact that you have that golden pocket just below them, if you come down and fill these very quickly, this is going to be an area where I will be looking for a bounce, right? So single prints plus the golden pocket, and then just below that, your 786 is sitting at about $30,761. That's going to be that next level of support you're looking at if we lose that golden pocket. But again, for now, guys, until we lose this 786, I am simply looking at this as a range, right? And if we come down here, potentially deviate to the 786, I would be looking at this as an undervalued Bitcoin, and I would actually be looking for scalp longs, right? So it's not until we really lose this 786 coming in at about 3,300 that I would be looking down towards these single prints, guys. And I do, just before we move on, guys, I want to talk about kind of what may make this a decent place to turn around, right? Number one, it is the golden pocket pulled from this absolute wick high all the way to the low here, right? So this is a kind of a full local Fibonacci retracement level. And we tested that golden pocket a couple times, and then finally we shot up towards this 786. Now, not only that, but we actually wound up swing failing. Let me go ahead to the, we actually wound up swing failing some wicks from up here, which could indeed give us a little bit more higher likelihood of getting reversal to the downside. So we did indeed get that SFP up at this level, guys. And again, like, you literally swing fail this 786, like, almost perfectly, right? You come up, you wick back down, close your body below, and then once this next candle confirms, that is the confirmation of your swing failure pattern, right? And oftentimes you do see quick reversals to the downside with these swing failure patterns, especially when you get them to confirm on stuff like the 30-minute, the 1 hour. Oftentimes you will get some really, really nice rejections. And again, I want to be clear. These SFPs, the reason I love these SFPs, guys, is because they give you not only a high probability trade, but also a very high risk to reward. They have a high, they have a high likelihood of playing out very quickly, right? Oftentimes, you don't have to hold these SFP trades through a lot of turbulence. Usually, when I get into them, I'm usually looking at the order flow to enter in on these. On these SFPs, we look for very specific confirmations on exo charts. However, when I get into these, oftentimes I'm in, and then it's like instantly in the green because it starts to dump very, very quickly. That's why these are such a high hit rate, right? Because you can pretty quickly get into profit and then move your stop loss to break even very quickly, making it a quick profit and a quick guaranteed winning trade, right? So now if you get stopped out, you get stopped out at break even. Full transparency, my stop loss is not at break even right now. So if I got stopped out, I would lose a little bit of money. But With that being said, just a pretty beautiful swing failure here right at that 786. Just a high likelihood rejection there. So, but there you go. But that's what I'm looking at, guys. Simply treating this as a range, right? Like when we deviated up here, we were looking for shorts. And now when we deviated again, we were looking for shorts. And hopefully we can get accepted back into that range. But that's basically how I am handling this right now, being very careful with that daily VWAP crossing over the 0 line, giving us that green dot. Now, if we do get that random pump to the upside and we do not, what happens if we don't see this rejection that we would hope for from this SFP? What is the next level we're going to be looking at? And I'm going to bring you guys back all the way to the actual Bitstamp chart where we have our macro levels, and that next key level, guys, is going to be sitting right up here at $37,000. So that nice psychological level of 37,000 is going to be that next level, right? So if that green dot starts printing on the daily, I was going to see if we had it on the Heikinashi candles, but we do not. But if we get that green dot printing on the daily, guys, this is kind of what I would expect, a quick and aggressive pump into 37K before potentially rolling back around and getting a significant retracement or reaction off of this key level. And then obviously levels above that remain exactly the same. We're looking up here between about 37,551 and this monthly naked point of control coming in at about $39,000 even. And then you also have your $40,000 psychological level right up there as well. So even if we do continue to push up here, guys, I want to be clear, right? We always say nothing goes up in a straight line, but when things are bullish, guys, sometimes they go up in a straight line for a little bit, right? Like sometimes you get the big move up and then a tiny bit of consolidation, you get another big move up before your first significant correction. And kind of what I want to show you guys here is, or talk about or mention, is that I don't think it's like we're right on top of this POC, right? As long as we hold this as support, we can technically be expecting higher prices. So, but if we do push up, whether we push up to 37 or even, 40, even 40K, right? Like there is a big chunk of resistance up here. And as soon as we get above that 37K level, or more specifically, until we get above 37.5, I would expect hard rejections, right? Because the bottom of this blue box is actually pretty important, right? This bottom of the blue box is your previous value area low. And I'm actually going to label this because this is a significant level that I'm keeping an eye on, right? So I'm going to label this previous value area low. Bada boom, and then we'll label this, or that's the MPOC, monthly naked point of control, and then obviously your value area high is sitting up here at about 44,000, so that's going to be another level to watch as well, but I don't think we're going to shoot right up there, but these next levels are very, very, very important, guys, and I'm actually just going to label this key, because this 40K is going to be a big level, right, but if we do push up here, really the key level that we have to get above first to get higher prices is going to be the previous value area low. Why is that, right? 37,623. Why is that the key level? Because again, this naked point of control right here at 37K is likely to get a reaction. But if we wind up, you have to remember, price action is messy, guys. Price action doesn't just shoot up to a level and immediately reject all the time, right? Oftentimes you get a crazy wick to the upside. Oftentimes these levels get broken even if you're going. This is why we use swing failure patterns, right? Because I always tell people, you want to draw your support and resistance as a range. Because if you just have levels on your chart and you're looking to short as soon as you break a level, right? Oftentimes, you're shorting right into a liquidity grab and price is about to reverse to the upside. And that's why breakout traders, oftentimes, I'm not saying breakout trading doesn't work. I'm just saying oftentimes, at least when I was breakout trading, I would get wrecked. And looking back, I realized that, I was just shorting and just getting stop hunted, right? That's the reason why I say look at it as a range, right? Because it's not really just a single line. It is really a zone of resistance or support, and that's why we use swing failure levels, right? Because you're expecting that big dip below the level, and then you're looking to close above or below the level to confirm the swing failure. But if we come up here to this MPOC, guys, not expecting a direct rejection right at that line. It would be nice, but more likely we're going to get some kind of like turbulence and like messy price action above this level, but we're going to be testing a very key level of resistance, which is the value area low, sitting again at about $37,623. Now that is key because it is the value area low of this range. And if we get above this value area low, right, let me go ahead and get rid of these lines. If we get above this value area low right here, this would indicate that we could flip this to support and we may be shooting up for that naked point of control, right? That next naked point of control, which is at about 39K. And at that point, you could wick up to 40K very easily. But what I would rather see here, what I'll really be expecting here is a push up, a tap on the MPOC, and then a potential extra push up to reject that value area low. And then maybe that's where we get our rejection, right? This is obviously very speculative. But this is what we're looking at, guys. And these are the levels that I'm watching. And simply put, I'm just trading my plan, right? I'm not deviating from my plan. I even told the premium Discord today. Let me actually. I don't want to. Let me see. Well, there we go. People celebrating the wins. Let's go. But I don't want to leak any of the information. I want to be fair to the people who pay. But what I was going to show you guys, I was talking to the premium Discord earlier this morning, saying that patience pays. Right? Trading. I said this yesterday on this live stream, I believe. Trading is not a sport of hunting. It is a sport of trapping. And yesterday, I was mentioning on the live stream, like, guys, I am simply just sticking to my plan. And this morning in the premium Discord, I was saying, guys, sticking to the plan, waiting for our levels to get hit. If the level doesn't get hit, I don't take the trade. So if you're out there looking like, oh, I'm trying to figure out, I'm trying to find a trade. If you're trying to find a trade, you are doing it wrong and likely going to lose money. You want to find the key levels and the situation that you would be open to shorting, and then you're sitting on your hands and waiting for those key levels to get hit. But as you can see, we were sitting on our hands. Finally, we got that random pump today and magically hit our level, and then we look for the confirmations and enter the trade. So, just simply trading the plan here. And those are the key levels I'm looking at. Hey, shout out to Bubba's Crypto for gifting those Frankie Candles memberships. Shout out to Bubba's Crypto. Hey, Bubba's. I like that avatar, bro. I like that avatar. Shout out to Bubba's Crypto. Thank you so much for gifting those memberships, bro. And shout out to Mars Link. Shout out to INJ Maxi. Shout out to INJ Maxi. Let's go. And shout out to DZ's Peanuts. Got a membership. Let's go. So shout out to you guys. And Jessica. Shout out to Jessica, our female CandleMafia representative, getting that membership. Jessica, I hope you're doing well. Thank you for being here. And always good to see you in the chat. Fresh profile look, bro. Let's go. Shout out to Bubba's Crypto. Rocking that Frankie Candles logo in his profile. I absolutely love it. But guys, that's what I'm looking at on Bitcoin. Just being cautious of that extra push to the upside, but going to be holding that short. And simply put, if I get stopped out, we will just look for that next opportunity in those key levels that we just went over. So, guys, let's go ahead and jump on into those altcoins. If you want me to take a look at your alts, go ahead and spam them in chat right now. Rob the Crypto Snob. Is Rob here? I don't think Rob must be busy. I think Rob might be busy with his job. I feel like he hasn't been here for a couple days, which is totally fine. Shout out to Rob, but I guess, Tyler, are you doing altcoins? If you are, everybody spam your altcoins, and Tyler Durden will go ahead and count up the votes and let us know what alts we're looking at. And until then, we're going to be taking a look at Ethereum, or Erythrium, as your grandmother might call it. And, guys, we hit some key levels on Ethereum that we may or may not have been looking for. So we're going to take a look at that. But before that, guys, I want to hear a word from our new sponsor, Mrs. Candle's Hand. Hey, wait, whoa, hey, ho. We are now sponsored by Mrs. Candle's Hand, guys. She's angry today. She's angry today, guys. We don't want any abuse here live on the live stream here. Whoop. Scentless today, absolutely scentless. But anyway, guys, there's those candles. There's Mrs. Candle's Hands. Hey, Dave Digital says sometimes he says he calls me the man, the sniff, the legend. How do you feel about that? Oh, okay. All right. Sorry. Mrs. Candles is easily embarrassed. Sorry, Dave. She said, I don't like that. But shout out to Mrs. Candles. We're gonna bring her out of her shell. She started showing hand. Maybe one day we'll get her to show her face. But let's go ahead and jump into Ethereum, guys. Shout out to the Mrs. Candles Hands in the chat. I love that we have a community that is willing to spam hands that may or may not smell good in the chat. Shout out to you guys. If you are new watching this show right now, you are probably like, what is this guy? Like, what did I click on? Is this like, what is happening? But anyway, let's go ahead and jump into Ethereum, guys, because we have some really, really, really interesting stuff to look at. Now, obviously, we have been looking. Shout out to Creighton C says, at Mrs. Candles, not the face, anywhere but his face. Shout out to Creighton C, trying to protect the assets of the Frankie Candles YouTube channel. Shout out to Creighton C, always down to protect this face. Shout out to Creighton. But let's go ahead. Need to make a hand hanging on a tripod, then move camera one day and see. Oh, and see the rubber hand swinging. Shout out to Walking Dead. Yeah, we'll have to have Mrs. Candle's Hand host the show one day. That's a good idea. But guys, let's take a look here. Oh my God, look at the POC retest, guys. So anyway, we've been looking at Ethereum here, guys. Obviously watching these two major volume profiles sitting right here between about 1662 and about 1555. And then the other one is up here between about 1761 and about 1930, where we were actually looking for price to get to. This is interesting. This range must be pulled slightly different on the chart on my phone, because on my phone, I don't know why, on my phone, we are dipping right into this purple area, which is resistance, but for some reason, we front ran it on the computer. I don't know why that looks so different, but anyway, guys, we were simply looking, shout out to Jordy. Hopefully Jordy is in the chat. Guys, the volume profiles, simply looking for a move from the value area low to the POC. Jordy was the one that was in the chat, made money off this this move from here. But at that point, guys, we are looking for price to get back above the POC, flip it to support, and then get a move to the value area high. We actually wound up flipping to the support down here, and then we worked our way up, almost hitting that value area high perfectly at about 1900. Obviously, we are looking for the actual level to get tapped, which is coming in at 1925. However, you want to remember, you know, we were looking for 1900, right? Which is basically where the value area high is. We have front ran it slightly right now, but we are going to be looking to potentially come up here to this value area high, guys, because once we get up to this level, if we don't reject from where we came up to here at about 1916, if we don't fully reject from here and we wind up coming and trying to break out of this value area high, we may be able to get a bigger move to the upside, potentially targeting this next key level, sitting up here at about, I mean, between about, you know, $2,000 and about $2,030. So these are the key levels on Ethereum. I do not want to overcomplicate things. I know a lot of people probably like when it's nice and simple here. Like, there's plenty of levels in between here. But the real key levels here, guys, is basically just the value area low, POC, and value area high of this range, specifically in this situation. Those are the levels I'm looking at, right? Because if we wind up breaking out of the value area high, we could look for shorts up here, and then if we don't get the confirmations, we may be able to break out and come to our next key level. But if we get all the way up to this value area high and we start putting in bearish confirmations, whatever you're looking for, swing failure patterns, bearish divergences, money flow, Lux algo confirmations, exocharts confirmations, whatever you're looking for, if you get those confirmations at this value area high, there is a high likelihood that you will get accepted back into the range and potentially shoot back down towards your POC. And then you guys know, once you lose that POC, you know where to look next. So there you go. That's what I'm looking at on Ethereum, guys. Now, as far as Market Cipher, looking at the 1 hour, this does look like we may, oh God, how is that not a blood diamond? Okay, no blood diamond on the 1 hour. It does look like it would have printed here. We did get one up here. However, coming on down here, looking at the 4 hour, green dot printing, right? So the green dot is printing on the 4 hour. So you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to shoot right down to that 15-minute and check our money flow. And you can see here our money flow is kind of flat here. Nothing really decisive. But this 4 hour green dot may be the thing that is able to potentially push us into this value area high where, again, I would be looking for resistance. And then again, if you break out of here and you don't get bearish confirmations and things look bullish, you may be able to break out. But other than that, guys, these are the key levels I'm looking at on Ethereum. 10-hour VWAP rolling back to the upside, 8-hour VWAP rolling back up. Your 5-hour looking for a green dot. Yeah, I mean, I would probably just look for some consolidation here, to be honest with you guys. Maybe just some bing-bonging back and forth. But again, key level to the upside, 1925, 100% the level I'm watching. And then the POC at about 1851, you could see is pretty well respected here. But that is going to be your key level to the downside. And not only that, guys, I want you guys to really look at the volume profiles as a map, right? As a blueprint of the market, right? This tells you I don't know how I survived without the volume profiles at one point in my life, right? Because it gives you context into where price is going to go after you break a level or lose a level, right? Like, if we break this value area high, you know, a lot of people just see breakout of resistance as bullish, right? But for us, we know that, hey, this breakout may actually be bearish, and we may want to look for shorts up here rather than look for longs and expecting a big breakout. Now, obviously, there's analysis you have to do up at these levels to confirm if you're going to get suck back into the range, or if you're going to explode out of it. And you can analyze things such as just looking at time-based volume or whatever you're looking at to try to predict those breakouts. But for the most part, this is like a high caution, right? If you break out of the value area high, it is a cautious breakout, right? You're not looking for a big moonshot immediately, but you're actually thinking like, okay, we could break out of here, but if we get bearish confirmations up here, I know it's highly likely that this POC is going to act as a magnet, sucking price back down to that midpoint of the range, right? So you have to keep that in mind. But other than that, that 4-hour green dot may be able to bring us back up to the value area high. But until we lose this, until we break out of this level decisively, I'm not looking for higher prices. And when it does happen, between $2,000 and $2,030 is the next target. If we start dumping, POC at 1851 and the value area low at 1762 is going to be your key levels of support. So there you go. Other than that, guys, daily green dot, daily red dot is printing, right? And you actually have a bearish divergence here. Now, I want to be clear. You don't want to just like daily bear divs in a bear market, right? Which if we're in a bear market could be arguable right now. But it depends on how you define a bull market. But oftentimes, guys, when I see daily bear divs, I am looking for shorts. But you have to understand you need context, right? Look at your money flow on the daily. This is an early money flow crossover, right? This wave can easily maintain in the green and come up higher. And if it does, you are likely to get a continuation to the upside, right? Another key level up here at 2150 if you guys want to mark it down. 2146 to be exact. 2146.30 to be exact. But here's the thing. You do have the daily bear div, a slight bear div, right? You have lower highs on your momentum waves right here. And then you have your higher highs on your price action, right? Into this key level, which is your value area high. You want to remember we did front run it, but you still could reject here. But is this bearish? Absolutely. Could this start a retracement? Absolutely. But because of the fresh money flow crossover, I am not going to treat this as a typical daily bear div that I would be looking at in a full-blown bear market, expecting a massive dump to the downside, right? I wouldn't be expecting a massive dump here. What I would more likely expect is for this div to play out and maybe give you a correction, but if it does, I will simply be looking for a lackluster move to the downside before putting in a higher low and continuing your trend to the upside. Now, if you pull your full Fibonacci retracement from when you tested this golden pocket all the way to the high here, you could see you also have some fib levels down here between about $1,800, right? $1,800 are going to be a big level, and then 1781 is your 786, right? So if we do pull back and you wind up losing, this POC, right? So let's say we come back down to a lower time frame. Let's say we start coming down, right? You break this POC. I will be looking for support on this golden pocket, the 786, and then your last line of support is going to be that value area low. So you do have some intermediary levels here, but again, if you're keeping it simple and you're just looking for the long term, right? You really only need these levels, if you're kind of short-term trading, right? But if you want to keep it simple, your key levels are just the 3 levels within this volume profile. But if you want to add a little bit of complexity there, you could take a look at this golden pocket retracement. So you're likely to get some support if we break down at these levels as well. But again, I'm not expecting much lower prices for Ethereum, or I'm not really expecting to get back into the 1600s until we start losing this value area low. Once you start losing this and you can't get back above it, that's where I'd expect the lower prices to get visited. So there you go. There's Ethereum, guys. Hopefully people are looking at these streams day in, every day that you watch. Hopefully you're seeing how these volume profiles behave and how you're able to look for longs at the lows and eventually visit the highs, right? Because not only were we looking for scalp longs here to potentially get to the POC, but you're eventually expecting to bring it up to the value area high. Now, you want to remember, price action's messy. They like to try to trick you, right? So if you went long here, you're looking to first get to your POC, maybe take a little profit, right? But just because you got this little dump here does not mean that your trade's invalidated, right? Unless you get stopped out. You have to figure out where your invalidation point is. But look at this. You get a big dump. Everyone's all bearish. But what happens? Eventually, you wind up coming up to the value area high anyway. That's why you want to keep the emotions out of it, guys. Keep the emotions out completely, right? Like, do you know how many people we're probably screaming, oh my God, here it is. That was the top. We're going down to zero, right? But not us, right? We understand that, sure, could this be, starting a big dump? Sure. But you're not really freaking out until you lose this value area low. And even when you lose the value area low, oftentimes I'm actually looking for longs. So there you go, right? Like this is a perfect example of like people emotionally would have been closing their longs, right? If you were long here and you're a new trader and you ride this thing all the way up to the POC and then you start getting this dump, a lot of people are going to panic close their trades, only to have price go out to the value area high as they once expected anyway. So there you go. Hopefully you guys are slowly learning how these volume profiles behave and, I mean, how mother effing reliable they are. I mean, it's ridiculous. I don't mean to get, not family friendly here, guys. I mean, but come on, these volume profiles are absolutely goated. But with that being said, guys, that's what we're looking at on Ethereum. So there you go. Shout out to $5 for BTC says, bing bong. Shout out to you, bro. I say, bing bong. Right back to you, bro. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Sell your Caspa. Buy Caspa Miner with the money. Ooh, shout out to Black Sales. Maybe not a bad idea. Frankie looks like a polar bear in white. Hey, let's go, baby. They call me Frankie the Polar Bear sometimes. But anyway, guys, shout out to you guys. Let's go ahead and take a look at these altcoins. Let's go ahead. I see Tyler Durden letting us know what alts we're looking at. I'm going to go ahead and pin that dang message. And we're going to start jumping in right now. Starting off with those H-Barbarians in the chat. If you guys are H-Barbarians, I don't know, throw some kind of an emoji that insinuates that you're a barbarian. Maybe like maybe a mace bat, or I don't even think they use mace bats. I don't know. A trebuchet? I don't know what barbarians did. I think they just hit each other with mallets. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump into H-Bar, guys, and take a look at what we got going on. So H-Bar, big rejection here, definitely going to zero. All right, let's move to Chili's. Bada boom. Also going to zero. I'm just kidding, guys. I got to make that joke once a month at least. But anyway, let's go back to H-Bar. Let's see. Hey, shout out to Frankie Candles. Shout out to Frankie Candles. Yo, Frankie Candles is in the chat right now. Shout out to Frankie Candles. Says, love this community. Shout out to you, bro. Did somebody make, is that actually our account? Is Tony super chatting our chat? I don't think you can do that. It won't let me do anything but remove it. I can't do anything else to it. But shout out to Frankie Candles. Thanks for stopping by, bro. I appreciate you showing support to our channel, man. Frankie, did you super chat yourself? Yo, I don't know. Tony, was that you? Or was that, is that someone random? I don't know. They just changed the, I don't know. That is hilarious. Frankie Candles and Tyler Durden, thanks, CHZ. No problem, King. I got you, bro. Sounds sus, Frankie Candles. Guys, if you see this guy reaching out to you in the comments, do not send him money. It is not me. I'm just kidding. That might be Tony. I have no idea. Frankie in the chat. Let's go. But anyway, guys, let's go ahead and check out H-Bar. And here we go. Let me just shout out Frankie Candles in the chat. LMFAO, my bad. Didn't realize I was on the wrong profile. Shout out, bro. That is so funny, man. But anyway, shout out to Tony D and Frankie Candles. Let's go. Taking a look at H-Bar, guys. Taking a look at H-Bar. Let's go ahead and move on. Bada boom, bada bing. Taking a look at our profile here. This is kind of a macro volume profile. I mean, this is pulled from back in the day. I would actually prefer to move this right about here. Okay, so shout out to Tony D. Love this community. Shout out to Tony D. I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that. Thank you for the second super chat. But anyway, taking a look at the daily here, guys. We have wicked up right to our point of control. And, I mean, I'll tell you this, right? When we see bull divs, right, which we actually didn't even really have, which we did not actually, we did not have it on H-Bar. A lot of the altcoins had those bullish divergences. Yeah, we did not have it on H-Bar. A lot of them had those bullish divergences on the 2-day, right? Which oftentimes at the bottom of a macro volume profile like we have here, could indicate that you're about to get that move up to the POC. Now, likely we had lower time frame divs, potentially the 4-hour. Yeah, like right here. Let me show you guys this, right? So right here, as you are deviating out of this macro volume profile and you are getting these bullish divergences on the 4-hour, lower lows on your price, higher lows on your momentum waves, on top of money flow coming up like this, this is a good indication that this is going to be a significant low, right? And then oftentimes it's not up in a straight line, but you come up, you bing bong around, you put in higher lows, and then once you reclaim this massive volume profile or this value area low right here, you can expect a move up to your POC. And when you're looking at a daily time frame or pulling a daily volume profile, and you can reclaim a big volume profile like we have right here, with these bull divs, with money flow coming up, that's a big move. A 40% move up to this POC is very, 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 very nice, right? A big percentage move on a pretty high probability trade when you're looking at the volume profiles. But when we take a look at the daily, right, VWAP is above that zero line. Looking to roll over potentially. Overbought on the daily as you're hitting a key level of resistance, which again is that macro POC. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see a little bit of a continuation to the downside. But coming on down to your 16-hour fresh red dot, no real bearish divergence or anything like that. But red dot on your 16-hour, red dot on your 12-hour. So the higher hourly time frames are printing those red dots. So we're going to come down to that 1 hour money flow. Oh, baby. Yeah, this looks like this may want to see more downside, right? Because your 1 hour money flow is continuing out. Your 16-hour red dot is printing. And then that 45-minute money flow also looking for a crossover into the red potentially soon at the same time as that red dot on your 12-hour time frame could indicate that you're going to see a significant move to the downside. So I would be careful here for some continued downside for H-bar. Not in the long term, though. Again, looking at the daily time frame, it is clear that money flow has crossed over into the green. Looking at the higher daily time frames, your money flow is looking to cross over on your 3-day. On your 2-day, you have a fresh crossover. This is bullish in the long term and would more likely indicate a small pullback before continuing back up to the high of your range, which is coming in at 0.06919. So this would be the next target for me on H-bar to the upside. But first, I wouldn't be surprised if you get a little bit of a cool off. Not only did you hit your POC, but you are starting to get those red dots on the higher time frames. And I would potentially look for that move to the downside before putting in a higher low and then continuing up to your next target at about 0.06919. Shout out to Creighton C. I appreciate that super chat, bro. Said, I feel like Tony is just giving you money so you'll pick him up dinner for him after the show. Grab me a couple of crunch wraps. Shout out to Creighton C, bro. Actually haven't had Taco Bell in a little bit. It's been a little too long. And by too long, I mean like a couple weeks. But shout out to Creighton C, man. But yeah, we'll pick you up a couple of crunch wraps. No problem, bro. And I like how you said a couple, right? No one eats one crunch wrap. I mean, let's be real. But shout out to Creighton C, bro. And shout out to... let me get this right. Marfelix. Shout out to you, bro. Said, what's up? What's your MSI period on Market Cypher B? My settings on Market Cypher B. This is actually one of my most asked questions. All of my settings on Market Cypher are default, right? Other than the colors and the certain things that I have hidden, right? I don't look at the RSIs, right? Typically, we have these RSIs. I don't have those on Market Cypher B. I just remove them because I don't look at them often. It's not that they're not useful. I just simply don't really look at them that often, so I figured I'd clear it up, right? It was honestly more for the Mafia than me. I think those RSIs are kind of confusing to a lot of people, and I don't use them that much, so I just removed them. But as far as like calculations and stuff, the only thing I've changed on Market Cypher is colors and like turning things on and off. All of my other stuff is all default. All my actual values, lookbacks, whatever, are all completely default. So shout out to MarFX. I think that's what it is, probably MarFX. But shout out to you, bro. Hopefully that helps you out. And shout out to Tony D. He says he wants sandwiches. And I love sandwiches. Shout out to Tony D. Actually, Tony D came over the Frankie Candles headquarters over the weekend and made some fire pesto chicken sandwiches. They were absolutely lit. Tony is legitimately a chef. I'm not even kidding. He is an actual chef. But anyway, let's see. Let's go ahead and move on to our next altcoin, which is going to be Chili's, CHZ. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. Let's see. Bada boom. What else do we have on the list today? We got Near, Sui, Crow, USDT. Wait, hang on. I just do have to check this. Is something crazy happening with USDT? We got decouplings going on, stuff like that. Anything? I don't think so. Okay, yeah. Oh, God, guys. USDT looking bearish. I'm just kidding, guys. But anyway, shout out to Taylor 2 times. Said, you're awesome, bro. Thanks for all the knowledge. Can you look at CRV? Not really into Hondas. But we could try it. I'm just kidding, bro. Actually, I actually like Hondas. Reliable cars. But anyway, shout out to Baylor. No problem, bro. I could try to check out CRV for you. I do want to remind everybody, I do try to get to people who super chat coins, but a super chat does not guarantee that we see the coin. I just want to be clear. We'd be here till 2 a.m. if that were the case. I will try as best I can to get to those altcoins, but if we don't get them, we'll add them to tomorrow's list. But shout out to Baylor. I will try my best to get to CRV for you. Or maybe we'll take a look at it right after this. But jumping into CHZ, let's check out Chili's first. Take a look at the Binance chart, and oh my God. Okay, so all right, you guys already know what I'm going to say. Here we are, and what happened? Simply put, we wound up getting. Actually, this looks like a not even really, but. What happened here is we came up to our old volume profile, right? We got accepted back in, went to the value area high, deviated, got accepted back in, right back down to the low. It's like clockwork, guys. These volume profiles are simply clockwork. But anyway, let's jump in here. Taking a look, volume profile pulled from back here in June of this year. Simply pulled from back here. But we wound up coming back. I mean, God, man. Guys, I'm going to stop using the volume profiles because I feel like they're going to put me out of business. I'm not going to lie. But anyway, taking a look here, money flow generally coming out on the 1 hour. You faked back into the green here, but the way this VWAP looks, it does look like we could potentially get sucked back into the red. So I would be careful here for a potential another leg down. But coming up to the daily, yeah, VWAP massively overbought here on the daily. VWAP rolling back over to the downside. Yeah, I mean, looking very similar to everything else, right? I want to be clear. I am not bearish on the altcoins over a long period of time, right? Fresh money flow crossovers on the higher time frames, such as the daily like this, are going to indicate the trend is likely to continue to the upside. But, this is looking like we want to cool off, right? Overbought on the daily, VWAP coming down, looking for that red dot, potentially looking to print today in about 19 minutes. But coming on to the 16-hour red dot confirmed, 12-hour green dot, red dot also confirmed. But really what I'd be looking at here on Chili's is going to be, simply put, let's come back to the 4-hour, right? Looking for that green dot, I would actually expect this green dot to potentially give you a retracement into this 786 golden pocket value area high confluent level between 0.0803 and 0.0791. So if this 4-hour green dot continues to push you up once you get it, right? It's not printing just yet, but once it prints, I would be very cautious of a rejection inside of this purple box, potentially back down to the POC and maybe even the value area, the value area low of the range, right? And the reason for that is because if you look at the money flow on the 1 hour, trending to the downside, right? Money flow on the 2 hour, trending down, right? With confirmed bearish divergences at a key level of resistance, right? You have your higher highs on price. Massively higher highs on price, slightly lower highs coming in on your momentum waves. Your 4 hour has no bearish divergence. Looking at the 1 hour, it's a little bit more clear. Right here, you have your higher highs on your price action. You have your lower highs on your momentum waves, money flow coming to the downside, VWAP rolling back over. So yeah, I would look for consolidation and maybe a push up into this purple box. But if not, I would lean slightly neutral, slightly bullish in the short term, right? So maybe we consolidate or maybe we get a push up into the purple box. But once this 1 hour rolls over, I would be very cautious of another push to the downside. But for the most part, you're pretty lucky, right? Because you're within this volume profile, which means that you're just looking at it as a range, right? And you're looking to potentially visit the high. If you get up here, I'd be looking for shorts back down to the low and vice versa. So there you go. There is Chili's. But in the long term, I mean, VWAP coming down on your 3-day, your 2 days looking for the red dot, daily looking for the red dot. You may be able to cool off here. If you're just looking at this as like a medium to long-term outlook, right? Not looking to day trade it. All right, let's see. Shout out to Creighton C dropping the super chats. Shout out to Crypto Anon. What is going on, bro? He's popping in. Good to see you, man. Thank you for being here. Creighton C says, at Tony, why you got to be difficult? Why you gotta be difficult? It's always something. It's always something else. We say in and out, and you're like, you're all about Sonic. We want Italian. You're all let's get Indian. We just had sandwiches. Tony, come on. We had sandwiches. Let's get Greek next time. Let's get Greek next time, bro. How about that? Well, let's see. Shout out to Pan. This money flow indicator is called Market Cipher, and I'm going to try a new feature on our live stream overlay here. I don't know if it's going to work, but if you want to sign up for Market Cipher, you can use code MCFrank20 and save 20%. If you're interested in getting Market Cipher, you can use the link in the description down below, or just go to the website and use our discount code, again, MCFrank20. That's the Femex link. I didn't mean to do that. I'm still dealing with the new buttons here, guys. But anyway, shout out to Creighton C. Thank you for that super chat, bro. And then we got another super chat from JB. Said, how do I update my card on premium? And JB, I need you to keep an eye out here. I'm going to go ahead and at Tony D. Boom. And then hopefully at Tony D can help you with that. I'm sure he can. He's usually pretty quick to help. But there we go. Shout out to Creighton, bro. Thank you. I love you back, bro. Thank you so much for the super chat. But we had sandwiches last night. It is true. It is true. Every time we had Italian last night. Now Tony wants. Let's get Greek. Man, shout out to Tony D. I'm kidding. Hopefully Tony can help you out, JB. He should be popping up here in a second. But there you go. That is what I'm looking at on Chili's. What is up, Crimson's girlfriend in the chat? Let's go. But let's go ahead and jump into Near. Let's check it out here, guys. Now, Near, very, 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 very similar setup here. As we have. Shout out to anybody who was watching the live streams a week or two ago. Like, literally everything we've been looking at has been playing out. And I don't say that to brag. I say that to nudge you guys to study up on the volume profiles, because you guys could easily do this on your own. And that's why I'm here to help you guys out. Shout out to Tony D. Quickly jumping on that JB issue. Shout out to JB. Let's go. But anyway, taking a look here at Near, guys, we have simply put, coming down to a lower time frame, looking at the 4 hour, guys, I want you guys to understand how we predicted this. We looked at a previous volume profile. A lot of people ask me where I pull these from, and I'm starting to learn there is a way to pull the volume profiles, but I am starting to learn, for me, I think I've just been using the tool for so dang long that it's more of an art for me. I try to explain it. There's no real technical right or wrong way to use the volume profile, right? Depends on what you're trying to do. But for me, we were looking at this range from back here. And like I said, sometimes it's more of an art than a science. But, to answer this question quickly for anybody who's curious, simply put, I just look for areas where we ranged, right? I look for areas of consolidation, and that's where I pull the fixed range volume profile. So we pulled this range from all the way back here. We extrapolated the levels all the way over to our current price action. And what do we do, guys? We simply extrapolated the levels, and we wait. We sit on our hands, and we wait to come up to that value area low. We test the value area low. We get back above it, flip it to support. We're then looking to go to the POC where we got a little bit of turbulence, and then once you flip that POC, you expect the value area high to come on in, and look how accurate those levels got tapped. And then what are you doing at this point? You may actually... Well, I mean, you wouldn't want to really short this, because this was a clear bull pennant, right? And you may have had other signals not to short this, right? But what happened here? We got another little squeeze to the upside, only to put in a beautiful bearish divergence on the 4 hour right here with your money flow trending to the downside. This would have been a very clear, obvious short position. And then at that point, you're looking to get a bounce on the value area high, get accepted back into the range, and potentially move back down to your value area low. This is one of the most basic, simple examples of a volume profile short trade playing out. Now, obviously, I would want more confirmations than just a bearish divergence. However, this is a pretty good sign, right? When you're putting that bear div in right as you deviate outside of the value area, like this is the saucy setups for me, right? Like this is where I'm looking for the short, right? 4 hour bear div, and then you're looking to potentially ride this back down to the value area low of the range, right? Obviously, the POC is likely to give you some support, so you may want to take profit there. You may even want to take profit here, because this is probably a local value area low, right? If we go ahead and pull this local range, I bet you, boom. Wow, look at that. How did I know, right? Local value area low coming in right here. You may want to even maybe take a little profit there. But, at that point, you're just looking to take profits, move your stop loss to break even, or move your stop loss into profit, and then you're simply looking down towards that POC value area low. And if it gets hit, you cash out a little bit more. If it doesn't get hit, then you get stopped out at a small loss. But there you go. That is an absolute, like, screenshot that or screen record that, rewatch it, guys, and then go back in time, look at your volume profiles, and look at those bearish confirmations outside the value area. Because remember, you're looking at this as an overvalued near, right? Like, you're looking at this as an overvalued asset, and you're looking to return it back into the fair value, which would be in the range. So there you go. A little bit of volume profile sauce for you guys, because that is a beautiful, beautiful setup right there. Obviously, already played out. I didn't take this trade to be completely transparent. I did not take that trade. But I'm just saying, if I were watching near and I was looking for a trade on near and we had that is an absolute no-brainer. Full port, like, put the whole house on this, 100x leverage, borrow money from your family. I'm just kidding. Never do that. If you're borrowing money from your family so you can trade, stop while you're ahead. Please do not do that. Never do that. Shout outs. Just please never borrow money from people. I don't even trade for people, right? You know how many people ask me, like, well, can I just give you money and you'll trade for me? And I'm like, hey, nah, no, not a chance. Because most people don't most people, even if they say, I won't be mad if you lose all my money, if you lose their money, they're going to be mad at you. I promise. I promise you. Don't waste your time. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue on. Do 125x instead. Shout out to 420 Budmaster. Let's go. But where are we headed for near in the future here? Let's go ahead and check. Where is near headed in the near future? I'm kidding. But anyway, money flow trending down on the 4-hour, guys. This would indicate that maybe we are going to start a trend back to the downside. Now, you can see on a lot of these things, your VWAP, your VWAPs on the altcoins are all coming up on the 4-hour, which could give you a retracement back up. Now, if we did retrace up here for near, what I would be looking at is some potential resistance near the value area high. I'm done with the joke, guys. I'm done with the jokes. Come on, let's get serious. Guys, this is a serious stream. Come on. This is for TA, guys. This isn't for jokes. Anyway, if we get a retracement, guys, and that 4-hour green dot gives us a move to the upside, this is kind of where, I'll give you two levels, right? I'll give you a little trading plan here, right? This is not, you should not just take trades based off of what people say. I'm not even going to give you the trade setup, but what I will do, I saved that for the premium Discord, but I'll give you levels where I would expect rejections to come in, right? And I'll be honest, right? The important level or the real level that I would be looking at to get into a trade or potentially look for a short or just look for simply a rejection back down would be this purple box between $1.61 and $1.56, right? So we get back up there. You have your value area high, your golden pocket, and your 786 Fibonacci retracement levels sitting at that level. If you get up in here and you start seeing bearish CVD or you start seeing, absorption or whatever bearish confirmations you're looking for in this purple box, that is where you are looking for a potential move back down, and maybe that is where you go visit your POC. And then the reason I'd be looking for a lower high here would be because a lot of times, guys, where do those lower highs come in? They come in at that golden pocket 786 retracement zone. Now, with that being said, there's no guarantees that you get all the way back up there. So if I were like, for me personally, if we didn't get up to this level, I wouldn't really take the trade. But if I were dying, I don't even want to say this because you shouldn't be dying to get into a trade, right? If you ever find yourself like jonesing to get into a trade, you are gambling, you are not trading. You are not going to make money at the end of the day if you feel like that. And I felt like that before in my trading career, guys. If you feel like you're itching to get into a trade, remember this. I know this is probably not what a lot of people want to hear, but if you feel like you're itching to get into a trade, stop where you are right now. You are not trading, you are gambling. You should only be trading if there is a trade presenting itself, not just randomly looking for trades like, oh, this looks bearish, I want to try to short this. Oh, this looks bullish, I'm going to try it along this. You want to assess the situation, find the key levels, and then wait for price to come to the high probability rejecting area. And there goes the camera. Dang, it's getting hot in here. But anyway, if we don't come all the way up there, you could potentially get a revisit of, not from here. You would re-pull this fib, and I would probably bring it down here. So another area where you may be able to reject is going to be this zone right here between about $1.55 and $1.52. So these are kind of the two major levels I would be looking for rejections at. And then just to find a little bit of confluence here, you can see, right? Like not only is it your macro value area high, it's also your local value area high, and I wouldn't really be looking for a short here because your VWAP is coming up, indicating a potential bounce incoming, and you're at the value area low. So it's not very likely that you're going to just nuke from here. It's actually more likely that you get a short-term bounce into one of these levels, right? This one has more confluence. The upper level has more confluence, in my opinion, so I would wait for that level, but you never know. You might front-run that level, and this would be another area where you could potentially reject. So you could either come up and reject here, or you could come up and reject here, and that's what I'd be looking at on near protocol. Shout out to Creighton C. Dang, Creighton, bro, you be going nuts on those super chats. Let's go. Shout out to you, man. I really do appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much. He says, I like to think the stream as a mullet. It's all business up front and all action in the chat. Let's go. Shout out to Creighton C, bro. I actually like that. I like that. All business up front, but if you go back and see what, it's kind of like the Mafia, right? Like it's all business in the front, right? Keyword front. And then it's all the business goes down in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? I mean, couldn't get a better it like literally couldn't be more accurate. I like that. Shout out to Creighton C. But hang on, guys. Bear with me while I try to get my fan on. Guys, I need to... Mrs. Candles turns off this camera fan every single day. I don't know why. I don't even know why she comes in the studio before I get in here. Like, what if she wakes up at like 3 in the morning and just comes in here to shut off the fan? I don't know why. But she does have a point. She's like, well, what are we supposed to do? Leave it running? And I'm like, I don't care about the electric bill. Like, let it run. And she's like, you can't do that. That's like just irrational. And I'm like, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, Mrs. Candles. It's so hard to argue with such a rational person. Come on, let me be irresponsible and leave my fans running 24/7 if I want. Oh, hey, what's up? Hey, whoa, guys, I was picking my nose, guys. Come on. But anyway, shout out to Ian. Thank you so much for that super chat, bro. I don't even know what that is, but he sent 200 of them. Let's go. He says, if you turn on the green dot and double triangle on market cipher A and set them both below the bar, a green dot after a blue triangle gives a big move. Whoa, especially on the 1 hour. Ian, what? Shout out to Ian, just like spitting the market cipher sauce? Bro, I've never heard of that. You better believe. Hold up. You better believe, bro. I'm about to shout out to the CandleMafia stickers. But anyway, I'm taking a picture of that, bro. I am 100% going to investigate that later. Ian, thank you for saying that, bro. I'm so amped. Now I know what I'm doing the rest of the night. I'm not eating dinner. I'm not going to sleep. I'm doing that on Market Cipher B, going into bar replay mode, and I will sit on my computer till my eyes bleed, back testing that. Shout out to Ian, bro. Thank you for saying that. The GOAT. Let's go. All right, let's see. Mrs. Candles and I have an agreement that she shuts your stuff off every day just to mess with you. Well, shout out to Tony D for trolling me every day of my life. Shout out to Tony D. All right, let's continue on here. And thank you, Ian, for that super chat. I do appreciate you, brother. Let's go ahead and check out Sui. And I'm actually going to turn on the fans in the studio. Give me a sec, guys. Whew. It's hot in this thing. It's hot. Oh, God. Mrs. Candle's probably like, why is he screaming? All right. Anyway. Oh, God. I feel so good. All right. Here we go. What happened? It didn't want to load Sui. Let's see. KuCoin Tether. Let's check it. All right. Here we go. Actually, let's do Bybit. Okay. All right. Well, what is the most price history? I guess KuCoin, at least out of everything we just looked at. All right. So here we are. Let's go ahead and clear this. We have not looked at Sui in quite some time. But let's go ahead and shout out to Lordius. Yeah, it's Market Cipher A. Dang, yo, Mafia be looking out. You guys are awesome. But yeah, I got you. Blue triangles. But anyway, let's go ahead and take a look here. Right on Sui, can't unsee it, guys. Money flow on these altcoins. It's like we looked at the crossovers happening very early, right? And all those coins pumped. And then, like, the ones that were lagging, I was like, hey, guys, like, a lot of these altcoins, like, these daily money flow crossovers haven't happened yet. And then, like, a bunch of them started going, right? It's like they're just waiting at the gate. And that money flow crossover into the green is the gate opening, right? And then that money flow crosses over into the green. And then, like, the alts that were lagging got their crossover. And, boom, they split to the upside. And I will say, Sui right now has not crossed over. Right? They're getting farther and fewer between these coins that have not gotten the daily crossovers. We could potentially see more upside for Sui in the medium term. Now, here's the thing. Look at the VWAP. doesn't mean that we're instantly going to get a move up. This VWAP actually looks like we may want to cool off a little bit before getting a move back to the upside. So what I would actually do here is I would pull our fibs. I will be looking at this as a level of support if we get a correction back down. Let's go ahead. Speaking of my electric bill, I can't wait to get my first electric bill in this new place. It's probably going to be barbaric. But anyway, a lot of electricity to run a YouTube channel, guys. But anyway, I will be looking at this as a potential. Go ahead and change this to longs. Bada boom. Okay, so if we get a pullback here, this will be a big area I'd be looking at for a potential bounce, right? Or a higher low to come in before continuing to the upside. 4-hour green dot printing like it is on a lot of these altcoins, either printing or very quickly coming in. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get another little push up here. However, again, with that daily VWAP, once that red dot prints, we're likely going to get a cool-off. 12-hour red dot printing, 16-hour red dot confirmed. As you guys know, that 12-hour red dot, we're going down to the 45-minute money flow, which is not crossing into the red. So that is somewhat of a good sign for a dump not to happen. But let's see, still got about, oh, no, you're about to confirm this. So that signal's kind of over with at this point. 4-hour green dot, this is kind of your bullish case. But again, like with a lot of these 8-hour rolling back over. Yeah, it's like you want to be careful with these divs. Check out the 1 hour, looking for a red dot on your 1 hour. I would probably lean in the short term, like if this I would see what this 4-hour green dot gives you. If this 4-hour green dot doesn't give you any more of a move up than it already has, I would lean neutral bearish on SUI. In the short term, right, or medium term, right, looking for a pullback potentially into this blue box, maybe looking for a long to potentially push up higher. But remember, this money flow coming up on the daily, this is a bullish signal in the long term. So I do think we'll see higher prices on SUI. I just don't know if it's going to happen right now. I'd wait for this red dot to print on the daily and be overbought. Oh, hey, this is an alert we sent last time. 100x long to the moon. I don't even remember what this was on. Let's take a look. Oh, the daily green dot. There you go. Shout out to the Mafia. We set this alert yesterday to look for that daily green dot to potentially signal that push up to 37K. And it's printing. Here we are. Fresh green dot on the daily, guys. Doesn't mean it's confirmed, right? This could disappear, but maybe we are going to get a shocker push to the upside. We'll have to see what happens. 1 hour red dot confirmed. 2 hour still looking for the red dot. We'll see what happens here. But anyway, let's go back to our altcoins. So that's what I'm looking at on SUI. Potential pushback into this key level before getting another move to the upside. Now, pulling your full macro golden pocket from the low to the high, this would be kind of another level I would look at, just this golden pocket. So if you dip that 786 to the downside, you have this golden pocket sitting underneath you that you could wind up getting a bounce off of. So those are the key levels of support that I would be looking at. But yeah, I would be careful with that daily red dot looking to print. If that prints, I'm looking for a move down into these key levels before potentially looking for a long. I'm not saying I will trade this. I don't typically trade a lot of the altcoins that often. But if we get a push down into this level, it might be even a good time to pick up some SUI on spot before getting a push back to the upside. Because again, money flow on the daily is looking bullish. 2-day money flow also curving up, but VWAPs are cooling off. So short-term cool-offs before more long-term upside is kind of how I'm feeling about SUI. And now you have those key levels. Feel free to screenshot these. All right, let's go ahead and shout out the Crimson Caravan Company. Said, if you've let him watch rated R movies before, it's nothing he hasn't seen. Probably. Well, shout out to Crimson Caravan Company, or C3, as some people call them. Shout out to Tony D. I know he's talking about Market Cipher A. There's no blue triangles on Market Cipher B. Shout out to the Mafia. You guys and Tony D out here. Like literally, you guys, like everybody's on point. It's like, let's go. Mafia is literally the best community in crypto, hands down. No one compares. I love it. Let's see. All right, let's go ahead and check out our next altcoin, which is going to be Crow. Checking out Crow, or Craw, as some people say. All right, let's see. Oh my God, it's going to $1 million. I'm just kidding. What is this volume profile? What is this? I've never used these colors in my life. And no one else is on my trading view anymore. I kicked them all out. I don't know what this is. Why is this green? That is so weird. I've never used this color, I don't think, in my life. Very strange. Anyway, continuing on. I'm getting hacked. No, I'm just kidding, guys. But same thing here. Same thing here on Crow. 2-day money flow has not crossed over yet. And again, guys, I would be careful. Like, not that you can't continue up in an overbought territory. I may have been saying oversold before. Overbought, obviously. But anyway, not that you can't continue up in an overbought territory. I always caution people to be careful because people think when you're overbought, you can't continue up. That's not the case. You could obviously continue up if you're overbought. However, this is a pretty big signal that you are likely to cool off at some point soon here. On top of that, your VWAP is pretty overextended on the 2-day, in my own personal opinion, right? You've been up here for 26 days, right? So this thing may be looking for a red dot very soon. However, looking at the money flow, like this is pretty dang bullish money flow. I don't see a world where this crosses over and doesn't give you another push to the upside. But I would be cautious of a push to the downside first. I want to be very clear about that. I am bullish on the altcoins, but a lot of them do look like they may want to cool off in the short term. Not all of them, but a lot of them do. Same thing on the daily. You're pretty overbought here. VWAP looking for a red dot. You're also, if you pull this kind of range that you had back here, you could pull this one where you are tapping that point of control, which has acted as very strong resistance in the past. So this previous POC is a key level to watch, right? And you are basically swing failing this right now. And then what happens if I pull this all the way down to here? It's the same thing, right? It's basically the same thing. So this volume profile, like this is a pretty key level of resistance, right? So I'm gonna mark this out. So between about I would say between 0.07999 and 0.08249. That is a key level of resistance that we're rejecting right now. And we are swing failing these wicks right here. So if you wind up getting a true swing failure here, if that winds up confirming on the daily, that could be a significant place to look for a reversal, right? And like you came up to your previous value area high, like if we just extrapolate this as we typically do, just grab this range, turn it white, and then come on. There we go. I don't know why that lagged. But you can see here, right? Value area low, previous value area low. That's the previous value area high. I'll just drag that up here, right? And then you have your previous value area low right here. And we'll just change this to previous value area low. And then you have your POC, which is where we're getting stuck at right now. So let's go ahead and name that previous POC. And as you can see here, we have respected this volume profile. And if you come down to a lower time frame, you can see that these levels are very, like, it's not just picking a random place on the chart and being like, see, we flew through it. Look, see? No. Come down to the 1 hour. You can see these levels are all respected, right? You can see that we actually hit our head on this value area low, got rejected. Tried to flip it, actually flipped it, and then we came up. Right? And now we are currently interacting with the POC, and we rejected the value area high. So if you wind up losing this previous POC, I don't know if you're going to get a move all the way back down to the previous value area low, but that is what you would expect coming from a value area perspective, right? This money flow on the 1 hour has been in the green for quite some time here, just absolutely mooning. But taking a look at the 16-hour, very similar to a lot of the other altcoins. Red dot printing on the 16-hour, 1 hour money flow starting to dip out pretty quickly. Taking a look at the 12-hour, looking for the red dot to print on the 12-hour as well. Money flow on the 45 minutes starting to dip out pretty quickly. Red dot looking to print on the daily. Checking out our 90-minute money flow, also starting to come down. I would really like to see this money flow come out a little bit more. But, red dot, yeah, look at this money flow on the 4-hour just getting thicker. Absolutely just beautiful money flow here. But 15-minute money flow looking to come out here. Your 4-hour is, red dot confirmed. I'd be careful. Here. You're hitting some significant resistance. And if we take a look at some macro golden pockets, let me actually pull some of these macro goldens. Let's pull it to the actual low. Pull it to this impulse. So there you go. It is also, this entire, from this retracement up all the way to the macro low, you came up. Not only do you have your previous value area high, your previous POC, You also have your macro 786 retracement here. Could be a significant place to cool off from. I would be careful here. Again, not looking to short these alts to the floor yet, but, you know, this could be a significant place to look for a pullback. If you cool off, I would definitely be looking at your key levels. You know, if you can't hold this POC, I would definitely be looking at that value area low. Until we lose this value area low and can't get back above it, I wouldn't really be looking for lower prices. So at that point, you know, at this point, I would just be looking to respect this value area right here. So there you go. And then just getting that 786 up in here gives you even more confluence for a potential cool-off. So there you go. I would be very careful here for cool-offs, right? But money flow coming up here, like these do look primed. A lot of these alts, although they may pull back in the short term, they all look primed for bigger moves up in the long term when looking at the higher time frame money flow. All right, let's go ahead and continue on. Let's see. I've still got a huge bag of Crow. I haven't sold it from the last bull run. Bought below 1 cent, though, still. Dang. It's all started. It's all staked for car benefits. Oh, shout out to Darren Does Things. Let's go, bro. Shout out to you. Yo, Tyler Durden says, hey, yo, check out spins, question mark. Oh, well, shout out to Tyler Durden. We actually have a USDT that we have to actually have to look at USDT first. And here we are. USDT, still $1. Okay, beautiful. Real quick, I do want to check out CRV. I know we had our boy asking for it, so let's go ahead and take a look at CRV, and let's go ahead and jump on into it. Shout out to Tyler Turner. Oh, yeah, my bad. Yo, you guys are crazy, man. Let's see. I'm selling my Tesla to buy more small caps. Let's go. Shout out to Wolf of Crypto. I actually rented a Tesla. I went on a trip, and I rented a Tesla just because I never drove one, and I wanted to see if I would be interested in maybe getting one. I'm not gonna lie. I used to be. I can't really say I'm still a car guy, like, actively, but I used to be, like, a car guy. Like, I used to be really, really into cars. My whole life I've been into cars. My dad was always into cars. I've been into cars my whole life. So Teslas do kind of hit me in that soft spot where it's like, you're electric, you don't make noise, like, kind of gross. But the dang thing does drive itself, right? Which is kind of the coolest thing in the world, right? I've been waiting for a car that'll drive itself, like, basically my whole life, right? So although it's not like a big, loud, cool car, let's be real. It's like one of the fastest cars ever. It'll beat 99% of the cars out there. It drives itself, which is a huge plus. And just because you have a Tesla doesn't mean you can't also have loud, cool cars. So, but I will say, driving that thing kind of made me think, like, yo, Teslas are kind of dope, man. Like it kind of makes me feel like outdated actually driving a car. So I don't know. They are fast AF. I know, it's insane. Like, that thing will give you instant butterflies, like no turbo lag, no lag at all whatsoever. Just instant power to the wheels. Pretty cool. I actually kind of like them, but I do get why people don't like them, especially car guys. But you can have both, right? You can have both. Hire me as your chauffeur, and I can make any car you want a self-driving car. Shout out to Tony D. Guys, he's actually not even lying. Tony D could literally do that. He's an electromechanical engineer. So shout out to Tony D. Perks of extra skills. But yeah, I don't know. Let me know. Should I get a Tesla one day? I don't know. I want one that fully drives itself. But then again, I would probably have to get a loud car, a really cool loud car to, like, counteract that. I don't know. Shout out to Tesla and loud, cool cars. But anyway, let's continue on. Let's see. Hey, Wilk 215. Maybe we can check out Render. We'll probably. I will. We'll do it. We'll check out Render. No problem, bro. I got you. Boss, you know what turbo lag is? I love you even more now. Oh yeah, of course I know what turbo lag is. I've actually never had a boosted car. But I will say, I've always, like, I'm like a naturally aspirated guy. I used to have a Charger RT that I was, like, obsessed with back in the day. This is a car stream now, guys. But I used to have a Charger RT that I was, like, obsessed with. I used to be really into cars. Like, all my friends had, like, cool cars. Cool cars for, like, a kid in college and high school. I'm not saying, you know, now my friends have way cooler cars than that. But I used to be I used to love that Charger, man. But the older I got, I will say, like, I used to literally change the spark plugs on my car, or, like, change my air. Like, I used to do work on my car when it didn't need work because I wanted to work on my car. Now I can't be bothered to change the oil. Like, I just, like, drop the car off, change the oil. I want nothing to do with it. But, you know, I'm just really busy now. But, you know, once things cool off, you know, we get out of the bull run, you know, I'll get back into it. But, yeah, of course I do. I'm a car guy. Listen, the sound of a blow-off valve is literally my favorite sound on earth, other than a money counter. But anyway, let's continue on, guys. This is not a car stream. We'll have a separate car stream one day. But anyway, and for probably people are about to ask, I don't own any cool cars right now, okay? I have, like right now I have no cool cars. But we will get them soon. But anyway, and like the next cars I buy is probably going to be based off what chat tells me to buy. I'm just going to ask you guys what I should get. And as long as it's something I don't hate, I'll go buy it. But anyway, let's continue on here. Checking out CRV. Let's check it. Okay, so VWAP rolling to the downside. Money flow. Kind of rolling up on the 2-day, but generally coming up, right? Looking very similar to the other alts. I'm not going to beat a dead horse here. Fresh money flow crossover on the daily. You guys know what that means. The trend is likely to continue to the upside based off this money flow, but red dot confirmed. Take a look at the 16-hour. Red dot confirmed. 12-hour red dot confirmed. 10-hour and 8-hour looking for green dots. 4-hour looking for the green dot. 3-hour looking for the green dot. 2-hour looking for the red dot. Okay, this looks kind of choppy, to be honest. So yeah, it's not like you have a giant bear div on the daily. It's not like, it's not like you have a giant bear div on the daily or anything like that. Confirmed red dot. Let's check the 2-hour. Looking for a red dot. Money flow coming up. This doesn't look clean, right? Like this just looks choppy. I wouldn't. Ooh. Clean money flow crossover into the red on the 1-hour. Let's check. Let's check the blood diamond confirmed. Let's check that 16-hour. I would really like. I hate that this VWAP on the 16-hour is coming up with the money flow. If this was a fresh red dot on the 16-hour, guys, I would simply be looking for money flow. I would simply be looking for a short here. I actually, to be honest with you, wouldn't be surprised if we get a move to the downside. But it's not tradable, in my opinion, right? So the charts are too mixed, right? That 4-hour green dot's looking to fight against you on a short. But this 1-hour looks like money flow cleanly coming out. Confirmation of the red dot. Let's see. Did we hit any major key levels on the way down here, on the way up here? Let's see. Yeah, you're tapping your golden pocket. I mean, yeah. Macro golden pocket is tapped. I'll be honest. I wouldn't be surprised if you get a move down here, but I would be cautious of a secondary push into your 786 coming in at about 63 cents. And if you guys want the actual number of that 786, it is, let me read it off for you guys here, 0.63812,352. I probably butchered that number, so don't take that. But anyway, I will mark this out with a horizontal line so you guys can actually screenshot that fib. It's just pulled from this wick high here all the way to the low. You are testing that macro golden pocket, but I'll tell you this. With the 10-hour VWAP rolling back up, along with the 4-hour VWAP rolling back up, along with the 16-hour VWAP rolling back up, I'd be careful of a secondary push into the 786. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if you get a move down either. So I'm kind of neutral here. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we move down from here. If you get another move up, I would be confident you'd get a move down from the 786. It's very hard to tell if you're going to get up to that 786 with the way Market Cipher B looks right now. But you did test that key level, which is that golden pocket. So, yeah. This is a little bit messy. So if you do get a pullback, either way, if you get a pullback from where we are right now, simply put, I'd be looking right here for some support. Simple golden pocket 786 retracement right about here. Let's get this, put it on longs. And let me just take a look at Lux Algo really quickly. Yeah, see, this is what you want to see, guys. If you're looking at Lux Algo, this is why I pulled this up, because I was like, if that smart trail is flying through that 786 golden pocket retracement, again, whether you get, I wouldn't be surprised if you get the move down from here. I also wouldn't be surprised, like, this is the if this then that statement for this trade, right? If I were looking to trade this. If this, then that, right? That is looking for confirmations to go long here. Why would I be looking to go long here? Because it's a significant golden pocket 786 retracement on top of this smart trail, likely to continue up to give you beautiful confluence in that zone, right? Not only that, you got your bullish change of character, your candles turn blue, letting you know that if you miss the move to the upside, it is safe to look for longs on the retracement. So that is what I would be looking for. That's the bearish if this, then that. And then the bullish if this, then that. So I guess the bullish if this, then that would be to look for the long down here if we get the confirmations. And then the bearish if this, then that is if we get the push up, I would be looking for a short up in this area because the 786 retracement is there, right? So that's how we trade based off the if this, then that statements. And that's how you win your trades, guys, regardless of if price goes up or down. Everybody thinks it's trying to go, okay, I think price is going up. I'm going to put my bet here. No. People go like, oh, are you gonna trade this right now? My answer would be no. You could look for a short position here, right? But not me. I would rather wait for the higher probability trade because I'm not getting any significant confirmations here, right? So I would simply set this key level and this key level and say, if this, look for a long. If this, look for a short. And at that point, I am sitting on my hands and waiting for my traps to get hit, right? I have my bullish trap down here and my bearish trap up here. And I am simply not getting into a trade until the price or that cute little bunny comes walking into my trap. And then as soon as that bunny looks the wrong way, aka you get your confirmations, boom, you get into that trade. I don't even know if that metaphor made sense. Anyway, but that's basically what I'm looking at. And again, using Lux Algo, this smart trail, the daily smart trail coming up into this area, if it is there as we come down here, this would be a big place for me to look for another continuation up. And why am I looking for the continuation to the upside? Well, that's where we go to Market Cipher B and take a look at the money flow. The daily money flow is in the green. The 2-day money flow is looking to cross over into the green at some point soon. So that's why I would look for the continuation to the upside. But for now, I would potentially be looking to come down from here or get another push up and come down from there. And then I wouldn't really be looking for a long until we were able to make it down to this level. So there you guys go. Shout out to Maybe a Band-Aid. Thank you for that super chat, bro. I appreciate you. Said caress that like button. Guys, smash that like button. We still got a few minutes left here. If we get 550 likes, I will spin that wheel 15 dang times to give you guys a bunch of crypto for free on Friday. Actually, Tony D was asked me if I could transfer money for the giveaways. And he asked me for a certain amount of money. And he's like, that should last a couple months. And I was like, dude, how much are we giving away? It's kind of a lot. And he told me, and he's like, yeah, that's how much we give away. And I was like, screw it. All right, here you go. I sent him the money, obviously. But, yeah, I didn't realize we gave away that much, I'll be honest. Like, I kind of just, like, send out the money, like, if it's a problem. Like, it's not going to be a problem, but if it was a problem, I'd know right away. But I just didn't know how much we gave away. We gave away more than I thought we did. I always thought, it was more than I thought. I'll just say that. But anyway, smash that like button, 550 likes. We spin that wheel 15 times, which, again, we'll put that money I sent to Tony to good use. But anyway, let's go ahead. I want to take a quick look at render, guys, before we start spinning that wheel, because somebody asked for it. And I don't know. I don't like disappointing the Mafia. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, let's go ahead and take a look here. Let's see. All right, take a look at the daily. So this is interesting, right? Because Render's money flow actually looks a little bit different, right? Render's money flow is actually coming out on the daily, right? It had a massive run, crossed over in October, right? October 2nd, got its massive run, but now money flow is actually trending down locally. And we'll get a little more insight as we work our way down to these lower time frames to try to see if this is going to keep coming out, right? So we'll come down to the 12-hour. Money flow also trending out on the 12-hour. Not looking that bullish. Not nice. Do you guys see that guy on TikTok? I found a random public faucet. You guys know, like, I got to stop exposing my TikTok addiction. You guys probably don't know what I'm talking about because you guys don't watch weird TikToks like I do. But if you guys know who I'm talking about, let me know I'm not alone. Anyway, 10-hour money flow also coming out. Let's check out the 4-hour. Yeah, 4-hour money flow. Not good. No flow. This is not nice. That's for the one person in chat that gets that joke. But anyway, Huddle Crypto, I see you, bro. Thank you for not making me feel crazy. But anyway, but there we go, right? Money flow continuing to trend out. VWAP rolling to the upside here, but this money flow is kind of bearish. I'll be honest with you guys. I'd be looking for a cool off on render potentially. And then the 2 hours got to hit you with the money flow coming up. Of course it has to. Of course. Let's see. 16-hour red dot. Things are a little bit weird right now. I'll be honest with you guys. A lot of this stuff is mixed. But I will say this. Let's go up to the daily, see if we rejected any key levels. Let's go ahead and pull some fibs here. Let's pull some fibs. You got that 786. Ooh, yeah. Full 786 retracement from the wick high to the wick low. And if you pull this nice little range right here, probably rejected that POC. Yep, right there. 786 POC confluence right here. Man, I wish we looked at this first. This is actually a pretty nice level. Yeah. All right. So you broke through your golden pocket. You whipped up to your 786, local old POC here. You actually almost made it up to the value area high as well. But yeah, you may wind up getting a little bit more of a retracement here. And I would actually also maybe look at this range as well. Yeah, look at that value area high. Tapped to the dollar right here. So I would be looking at this on render, right? I would be very careful of a potential pullback. But I would watch this volume profile below. Because what happened here? You broke out of this volume profile. You wicked up to this POC, bullishly retested the value area high. But again, I don't know if I'm really loving the money flow here on the 2 hour. On the 1 hour, on the 4 hour. Check the 90-minute. 90-minute money flow coming out as well. VWAP, I would lean neutral bearish here in the short term. Maybe you get some more consolidation. But if you break this level here at $2.12, I would simply be expecting a potential revisit of this value area, right? Because, yeah, you came up to the 786 retracement. If you get back down to this value area high, I would look for a potential refill of this range, bringing you back down to the value area low, coming in at $1.91. So those are your key levels on render. I don't like the way money flow looks, but right now things look a little bit choppy / bearish on render. Like this money flow on the 4 hour is clearly trending to the downside. So there you go. That's kind of what I'd be looking at on render, and those are the key levels to the downside I'd be looking at. If you continue up, I would simply be watching this value area up here, right, with your value area low, your previous POC, and your value area high. I will label this previous value area high, previous POC, and previous value area low. There you go. So we come back up. You're looking to get accepted into this range, come to the high. If we come down here, you're looking to get accepted up here, get accepted underneath this value area high, and get a move back down to your value area low. And that's the if this, then that statement for the bullish and the bearish case. There you go. But I would lean on money flow. I would lean a little bit more bearish on render. And on top of the daily money flow, looking a lot different than everything else, right? Everything else is like here on the money flow, right? Like pretty early. Render's much deeper into this money flow crossover into the green, right? And it's actually starting to trend down. So I wouldn't be surprised if we start getting a pushback or a pullback on render. So there you go. Shout out to whoever was asking for that in chat. I forget who it was, but shout out to you. Hopefully you're happy that I went back to take a look at it. But guys, with all that being said, I think that is all the time we got for tonight's live stream. I'm going to go ahead and pull up that wheel of pain and pleasure and see if we can get some giveaways. How many likes do we got? Oh, we still got 400 and something. I can't see the full number. Smash that like button if you guys want some more giveaways. Shout out to Dave Digital. Said, if I started a TikTok, what would I talk about? Dave, I feel like you're the kind of person to blow up if you started creating content, bro. You are a funny man. And you're a good man at that. So shout out to you, bro. If you made a TikTok, you let me know. I will follow you instantly on all my accounts, my personal account, my Frankie Candles account, Tony D's account, and Mrs. Candles' hand account. She actually has a hand account, guys. You don't know this, but Mrs. Candles does hand scent reviews. She does lotion reviews for hands, and she just like rubs lotion on her hands and reviews the scent. And sometimes she has me on as a guest. But anyway, let's go ahead and spin that dang wheel of pain and pleasure. Here we go. I don't know why this is all like not dark mode anymore. There we go. Back to dark mode. But here we go. I want to know what switch wheel does. All right, spin numero uno. Let's see what we got. We got 433 likes. Yikes. Very far from 550. But there's those hands. Let's go, baby. BTC retested the 21 moving average and coming back down a little bit now. Let's go. Shout out to the shorts. Oh, God, rugged on the giveaways. Tony said, haha, dang, that's crazy, man. What's the hand account called? Shout out to Tony D. Oh, God. Tony D's over here like this, like, hey, what's that hand account called? I definitely don't want to take a look at that. You guys know that guy on TikTok too, the guy? Let me know. Let me know in the chat. But anyway, this episode is brought to you by Rooms to Go. If you're looking for some nice living room furniture, you can check out Rooms to Go. I'm kidding. This is not sponsored by Rooms to Go. Oh, my God, guys. Guys, this is smash that like button. Tony T said, bro, I'm crying. Yo, too funny, man. Shout out to Wick. Does anybody get that joke? Oh my, guys, this is, oh no, we got a giveaway. Okay, I was gonna say, did we just get rugged on all 4 spins? I gotta spin it one more time, guys. Run it up to 550 before we end this dang stream. We're giving you the extra spin. David says don't post the feed account either, lol. Anyway, oh my God, guys, what is going on with this wheel though? Guys, we got to do more. I can't give one giveaway. I can't do that. Huddle Crypto's dying. Huddle, you know who I'm talking about? You know those guys? Those guys are funny. Bad Axe, yeah, this is garbage. This is, all right, there we go. We got 2. We spun it 6 times. It was only supposed to be 4, so I gave the extra spins. We got 2 giveaways. This might be the worst hit rate on that wheel that we've gotten yet. No giveaways today. Shout out Wolf of Crypto. But there we go. We got 2 giveaways out of 6. Yikes. But add them to the list. This is why we spin that wheel every dang day. But with all that being said, guys, that is all the time I got for tonight's live stream. Thank you guys so much for sticking around till the end of the stream and liking the content and being subscribed to the channel. If you're not subscribed, only 30% of the people who watch our channel are subscribed, which is like, how is that number real? Like, that seems so low. So if you're not subbed, guys, smash that subscribe button and smash the like. But with all that being said, guys, I got to go. I got TikToks to watch. I got to get out of here. I got hands to sniff. I got stuff to do tonight, guys. But with all that being said, watch out for the pullback on Bitcoin, guys. But also be careful of that daily green dot, which we now know is printing, because if we're going to get that surprise, that cheeky pump to the upside, shout out to Cheeks, could be happening on that daily green dot. So be careful, set your stop losses, and with all that being said, shout out to the Mafia. That's all the time I got for tonight. I'll see you guys tomorrow, same place, same time, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Go sniff some hands. That's all I got. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
I ain't tryna see your hand out. No freebies, better pay out. Y'all so cheap, man, we stay out. Feel like a breeze, don't play around. Y'all better pay for the CD. Y'all better pay to come see me. They left the whole crowd sleeping, and that's why you really gon' need me. Y'all better pay for the CD. Y'all better pay to come see me. They left the whole crowd sleeping, and that's why you really gon' need me.
Yeah, I've been on the road, chill. 31, baby, living out my dream still. I just got off a tour, the product in store, I'm playing. I'll be rocking with the guy in the horse, yeah. You just hopped in the coupe, got lock in the shoes. I worship his Zeus, you not gonna shoot. I'm watching you do the cam base where I'm blocking these fools. I got studio time, I got my watch in the booth, yeah. They be praying on my downfall. I'm an outlaw, switching pulls every stance like Southpaw. How come your mouth off when y'all soft? No, you see me on the trampoline, about to bounce off, yeah. It's a matter of time, I know you see me standing in the front, back in the line, I happen to grind. Every minute passing the time. We ain't never been friends. How you acting like mine? Y'all need contentment. Y'all got resentment. God's grace lead to repentance. You live for mentions that make me question how you gonna handle a gift if you don't know how to steward a blessing. You can't do it. You don't want a dream chase. You don't put your hands to it. You know the circle strong. 4th and 40 got a pun. No, I don't do what I want. I do it for the kingdom come. I ain't know that I was flowing. I ain't showing sign of slowing. I am going for the juggler, mate. The one to debate. But you seem to want it for free. I ain't doing video unless I'm gonna get paid. Yeah, I've been working on a gift. I ain't doing free shows. You can call me here again. You can call me what you want. It's really absurd. Just because you're the church doesn't really mean you don't have to pay me what I am worth. Woo.
I ain't tryna see your hand out. No freebies, better pay out. Y'all so cheap, man, we stay out. Feel like a breeze, don't play around. Y'all better pay for the CD. Y'all better pay to come see me. They left the whole crowd sleeping, and that's why you really gon' need me. Y'all better pay for the CD. Y'all better pay to come see me. They left the whole crowd sleeping, and that's why you really gon' need me. Y'all better pay for the CD. y'all better pay to come see me. They left the whole crowd sleepy, and that's when you really gon' need me.
Well, shout out to Jay. Jay said, Caspa fake out. And I say, let's go ahead and jump on into the charts. Let's go ahead and check out Caspa real quick, guys. Caspa on an absolute ripper. Daily pretty overbought here. VWAP coming to the downside. I wouldn't be surprised if you wind up cooling off at some point, but I would be careful. I would not be looking to short this thing. I actually think there was... I don't remember if it was Caspa. I feel like it was. There was a point where I was trying to short Caspa, and I got caught in a situation where I got stopped out like 3 or 4 times in a row. And then I was like, you know what? Screw this. I'm done trying to short this thing. And it kept going up anyway. And I was like, okay, good thing I stopped. But here we are, guys. We did wind up getting a move all the way up to about, 0.069744. The next, listen, we are basically in no man's land. We are in price discovery, essentially, for Caspa here. So it is very, very hard to predict where price will go next when you don't have when you can't look left, right? When you're looking for places for price to reject, you got to look left, right? And we can't look left because price has never been up here, right? So what I'm going to be looking at is going to be, let me go ahead and pull up the actual values of this. So, as you can see here, we have the 2618 up here at 0.093917. This is kind of the next significant level I would look at as a big area of resistance. We can't pull any fibs, any bearish fibs, like from the high to the low, again, because there's no price action up here to pull it from. But yeah, Caspa potentially moving up to that 9-cent level. It's kind of a big move from here. However, with the daily, looking the way that it looks, I'll be honest. VWAP coming down, looking to print that red dot, right? But on top of that, like looking at your 8-hour, your 8-hour VWAP popping back up, your 10-hour VWAP getting rejected at the 0 line, but trying to come back up, money flow shooting to the upside. Like I would be, I mean, you do have a pretty nice 3-hour bear div here. You have a 4-hour too. I'd look for the 4-hour bear div here. But understand, guys, like I'm not going to short this. If you short this, it is going to be very, very risky, right? If you come down to the 30-minute, VWAP rolling back up, when things are going up, when things are going up like this, especially the altcoins, a lot of times it can, wind up spitting in your face, right? Like, especially when you don't have any like legitimate levels of resistance to go off, like the situation we're in right now, going to be a bit of a risky short. However, that 4-hour bearish divergence may be something to look at. Your 2-hour also printing the bear div right now, but your money flow is not coming out like I would like to see. 1-hour money flow is coming out. Yeah, I would look for the 4-hour bear div. If that starts printing, maybe you could get a move to the downside. But again, I would be very, very careful with this just because oftentimes the altcoins will spit in your face. But if you do get a move down, I would be looking to get some support back on this fib level. But yeah, I would be careful. But that 4-hour bear div is what I would look for a potential move to the downside. But no guarantees on that because this altcoin does look like it wants to pop up. But anyway, guys, that's all the time. A little bit of a shout out to Jay. He says to the moon. Jay, shout out to you, bro. You're the reason we looked at Caspa. So shout out to you. But with that being said, guys, that's all the time I got for tonight's live stream. I will see you guys right here tomorrow, same place, same time, 5:45, same hands, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Frank Candles YouTube channel. That's all I got. Hasta pasta. I love each and every single one of you guys. I mean that. I'm not just saying that because I'm on camera, guys. I truly mean that. Thank you so much for being here. That's all I got. Frank Candles out. Bing, bong.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the roll, here we go, yeah we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like, yeah, you about to see me on demand like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the